uh, what is the need of this energy audit report? The need of this energy audit report is to so that the auditors can explain their work and results in a well structured manner and format, so that its target audience or the person who is going to read this report or interpret or comprehend should be, it should feel easy. So it should be written in a suitable manner, and its potential readers are CEO or the plant manager of the industry, or it may be engineering supervisor or maintenance, or it could be the energy audit manager if someone like this post is created in the industry. So these people are well qualified, no doubt, but sometimes the owner of the industry, he may himself have a look on the report. So as far as these owners are concerned, they may be engineering graduate or may have done some MBA, etc., but they may not as well. It is also possible that they do not have such a qualified degree, and it may be their family business, so they are continuing this from generations. So the report should be such which should be written in a simple language with less amount of fancy words, because here we are not going to impress anyone with the our verbal knowledge or verbal vocabulary. Okay, so but the purpose is that it should be written in such a manner so that it is comfortable to all readers, potential readers. Okay, so it should be, there should be more use of the direct language. Okay, and there should be use of more graphs than tables, because if we are using more graphs, whether it is the pie graph or bar chart, then the person can interpret easily that what is the trend going on. For example, if the bar chart is having the four rectangular representation, okay, then he can see, okay, for example, that four bar chart representation is the energy saving in the lights, in the motors, in the steam, etc. Okay, so he can interpret easily that by doing the energy conservation of which sector the energy saving will be more. Okay, same is applicable for the pie chart as well. And recommendations should be specific and clear, that okay, this steam pipe is having bigger radius or less radius. And sometimes it may happen that the industry is established many years ago, say 50 years ago or 60 years ago, and some of the data is not available with the company because it may be lost over the years, or maybe at that time the proper documentation was not there, proper billing was not there. So in that case, when the energy auditor is there, so he may make some of the assumptions regarding this. So that assumption should also be clearly written and explained, that based on this assumption, is this report is prepared. uh, Now mistakes and errors in the report, especially in the results, should be avoided. Okay, there can be typing mistake, although that should also be avoided, but as far as results are concerned, there should not be any error. Calculations which are there or which are done, it should be either given in the main body, or in the calculation part or the calculation chapter of the main body, or in the appendix, because the end user is more interested in the results than the process or the calculation which is being followed. So the typical content of the energy audit report should begin with the executive summary, that what is the summarization, and then it should be followed by the key audit findings. What is the main findings that you can say? You can have the first chapter as, okay, energy saving of say 1 megawatt per year. Okay, like this, that what is the key audit findings. Okay, or you can have a key finding as, okay, 30% of the motors not required, yeah, non-functional, such things. Okay, then it should have the recommendation of energy efficiency measures, that there must be some practice which is going on, but what are the energy efficiency measures that is to be taken or recommended, that is to be given. Then the economic aspects of the energy audit, that can be SPP, NPV, IRR, which we have discussed in the last unit, that what is the economic indicators which is used, that should be clearly written. Audit objective and scope and methodology should be clear, that what was the objective and what was the scope, what was the scope given to us, that how depth we have to go through, and what is the objective, that what amount of energy saving was required from our side, and so on, and what methodology was followed, that what was the sequence which was followed, what team allocation was there, and what was that, all comes under the methodology, that what sequence specially was followed. Then plant overview. First, the overview of the plant, that whether it is the steam industry or it is the steel industry, rolling plant, etc. So based on that, also recommendations are there. General plant details and descriptions. It can include that, okay, the company is having, industry is having n number of motors, n number of boilers, n number of steam pipes, etc., etc. Then the component of the production cost, the raw materials which is with the industry, energy components, chemicals, inventories, manpower which is being there, when what are the overhead charges, and others can include the government charges, etc. So next is the major energy use. What is the sector which is consuming the maximum energy? It can be the maximum energy, could be the electrical energy. And then the production process description, that what is the process which is being followed. Then the process flow diagram, that how this process is carried out from one step to another. It is necessary so that when we know the flow of the process, then we can analyze that where saving is being done. Okay. Then major raw materials, inputs, quantities, and its cost. Energy, utilities, and its systems description, that where energy is being uh, utilized, what is the list of those utilities, and brief description of each utility. These utilities can be the electricity, steam, water, compressed air, chilled water, cooling water, process heating, etc. Because every these things may use electricity, and hence there is a scope of energy saving in that. Okay. Then the detailed process flow diagram and energy and material balance, flow chart of flow rate, temperature, and pressure of all input output streams. It is if an industry is working in particular country, first of all, the geographical conditions which are prevailing, topology of the industry that is playing, all these affect to the desired temperature and pressure conditions. Okay. If the ambient temperature itself is more, then the temperature which is to be raised for water to become steam, or the energy which is being utilized to raise the water to steam, will be less. Same is the condition for the pressure. So all these flow charts that include input and output streams are calculated, that what is the input pressure, then, and what is the output pressure, or what is the energy which is being utilized to raise that pressure. Okay. Water balance for major units in the facilities. Next is the energy use analysis in utility and the process system. This system could include the boiler efficiency, furnace efficiency analysis, cooling water performance, that how it could be the cooling of water or the condensate or the energy extraction from them. Refrigeration system performance, if we are having any refrigeration system, or we dealing with the cold storage industry, or some vaccination industries, or any other industry which require the chemicals or accessories to be kept at freezing temperature. So what is the system which is being adopted there, whether it is properly insulated or not. Compressed air system performance, and the summary of the load inventory results. We have to summarize the load, electrical load, which is being used. Next is the energy use and energy cost analysis in the plants. It includes the specific energy consumption, energy bills analysis, because sometimes it may happen that the energy utilization is same, but the government rules are changing in the for the industrial sector, so the bills may go up or down depending upon the government regulations time to time. So that energy use and the production pattern is to be studied, and the summary of the results from the benchmarking is to be taken into care, that what benchmarking we are going. For example, if we are going for the international standards, it may require more quality testing. Okay, so if that is there, then we have to be more specific with the machinery which we are having, and more skilled person. So all these factors will affect the costing. Okay, so that is to be taken care of. Then assumptions and the samples summarization of that is to be there. Energy efficiency options and its recommendations. List of the energy efficiency options that can be classified under no cost or low cost or medium cost or high investment cost. All according to the cost priority is to be summarized. Then the cost benefit analysis is to be done, and energy efficiency measures is to be listed. Conclusion and a brief action plan is to be included. That okay, we have discussed everything in the report, but now what next? Next is the implementation of the energy efficiency options, that what should be energy action plan for those options. Because if we are going for the energy saving, we will not reach the energy desired energy saving or cost saving in a month or two. So there must be an action plan. Okay, we will meet the target for first quarter, say 30%, then we will for next quarter we may achieve 50% saving, then and so on. Okay, then the acknowledgements and appendix is to be given, and the appendix may include the list of the energy audit worksheets. It may include the calculation part and list of the vendors of the energy efficient technologies and other technical details. Because when we are mentioning the action plan, that okay, you have to follow these energy efficiency measures. For example, if we are talking of the illuminations, okay, then the recommendation may include, okay, that we have to use more natural light, color rendering is to be taken care of. And but if we are suggesting the hardwares, that okay, we have to install the motion sensors, light sensors for the or proximity sensors for the illumination tracking, then the appendix should include the list of the vendors from which the energy efficient technologies and hardware can be purchased. That is to be listed, although it is not binding on the company or the industry to approach them, but it is desirable to list them. If they are getting some other vendors or from which they are having good licensing, they may opt for them. But if they are not having such licensing, then they may try these tried and tested vendors which are recommended by these auditors. Okay, so this is the report, desired report. Now is the post audit activities, that after this report, what the activities that are to be carried out by the industry. Okay, so first of all, they should create the action plan for the implementation of energy efficiency measures. Okay, and it should have the clear goals, saving targets, and definition of roles and responsibilities for its execution. Okay, that okay, what we are going for in this quarter, what are our goals, how we are going for the its energy saving or the cost saving. And when we are going for that action plan, then a team is to be created, and every member of that team should be given a specific role and responsibility, that okay, this is to be monitored by this person, that is to be monitored by that person, and so on. So that should include the definite technical steps and targets. Okay, only then these targets can be met if the roles and the resources are also there. We have just mentioned about the resources, that there may be requirement of some amendments, there may be requirement of some maintenance, and also there may be some requirement of purchasing of few energy efficiency hardwares and technology. So whatever the case may be, that resources are to be chalked out. So define technical steps and targets. So it includes the different performance targets for each facilities, department, and the operation. For example, the departments may be the production department, maintenance department, or you may say HR department. So each may be given some tasks and targets through which they can save the energy. It may be due to the uh, electricity, switching off of electricity when not in use, or making use of more energy efficiency efficient hardwares, or it may be usage of more natural light, which may lead to the energy saving. And similarly, facilities. So when we are talking about the facilities, there may be case that the some of the facilities are overused or unused or less used. So if the such facilities is there, for example, if any industry is also having the steam bath facility for their employees, but due to some any problem or non-interest shown by the employees, for example, that steam baths may be allowed after the working hours of the company or the industry. But by seeing the trend that the employees tend to go home early rather than taking that steam bath facility in the company. So if such is the case, that that facility is not being utilized or underutilized, then it is good to close that facility and result in the energy saving and so on. Okay, then the timelines is to be set, that whatever the energy saving is desired, it should include that what are the expected outcomes and how we are going to achieve that. Okay, so that can be monitored only if we are setting those timelines and establishing the monitoring system, so that we can check that okay, this was the target and how far we have met our targets. So next is the determining the roles and the resources. So roles can be internal roles which can be given by the works manager. Okay, so it could be some financial management which the financial departments which are going for the capital investments or budget planning, and human resources staffing can, it could be some overstaffing or training if we are required to go for the advanced training for the advanced equipments which are to be purchased, in the performance standards, quality standards, maintenance department, that what inventory which we have to keep. Similarly, facilities and operations management, building and plant design, if some changes or minor changes or renovation in the building design is to be done, which may lead to the energy saving, that is to be uh, done. Similarly, building engineering or the production department, communication, marketing, if the marketing which we are going through, maybe we are going for the more advertisement in the uh, audiovisual mode, then that can be reduced, or the internet marketing, environment, health and safety issues. So what roles that is to be given. Similarly, these are the internal roles which are to be given for the internal members. Similarly, external roles, if the we have to go for any consultants or service providers or the vendors or the other mm, members which are outside the industries, and the standards and the bids and the metrics, that is to be clearly defined, that what standards which we are going to follow. And also we have to determine the resources, human resources as well as the uh, non or hardware resources or the technology resources, and how can we justify the funds which are available for that. Okay, we will stop here at the moment.